Hey folks, how you doing? Sean Wilson here. One question I get asked a lot is, what do you practice when I'm sitting down to play the piano? I need to know what to practice because I know that's where all the work is done. So I give my usually stock answer, practice your scales, practice this and that. And a lot of people are saying, no, I don't want the stock answer. I want to know, what do you practice? Sean, what do you practice? So I wanted to make this video today actually telling you guys what I personally am doing during my practice session. So that's what this video is. My own personal practice session. How you doing? I'm Sean Wilson. Glad to be here with you today. An insanely practical video, because a lot of times when people ask this questions, they don't get a lot of actual tactics, and they don't get specifics. So I wanted to give some specifics in this video, and also something you can do at the end of the video to really help you know exactly what you need to do. I need to tell you something. My practice generally is broken up into three sections. The first thing is scales, of course, because that's warming up the fingers. I don't want to approach the piano cold. Okay, so you got to warm up the fingers somehow, whether that's scale, whatever. This is the reason why I devote a whole section on my site just to doing all the scales and all the triads, and for some of you, handing. So let me know in the comments, what do you do to warm up your fingers? Because that needs to be in every single practice session. The length of time that you do that is up to you. The second part of the practice session is vocabulary, building vocabulary. Remember, I have a statement that says, whatever you want to keep, you must repeat. And this is something that I kind of drill into people that I give when I'm giving sessions. And so what are you repeating constantly throughout each practice session? That's the focus of today's video. But before I talk about that and what I do, I want to also discuss the third thing you should practice, and that is songs. Right? Learning songs is the best way to build vocabulary. And in fact, that's all my YouTube channel is, breaking down songs, showing you guys, hopefully some of you guys are doing more than that. You go further than my video and you actually look at songs yourself and kind of see from there. But anyway, what I want to do is talk about what I actually practice. There are three things that I'm right now personally practicing to build my vocabulary. The first thing is drop two voicings. Okay, so basically drop two voicings are a nice, cool way to really upgrade your sound. And the way I practice that, for instance, let me give you why it's important. Say you're in the key of G and someone says, we want you to go to the 5. So if you're in the key of G, the 5 is going to be D. That's a D major scale. But how many of you could actually play that D, not D major scale, D major triad, or D7, D major 7? How many of you could play that D major 7 in several different ways on the spot in the middle of the song, like this, or this, or this? Right? These are all different ways to play that same chord. And so what's happening is, in the middle of playing, when you are asked to play something very quickly and you want to be able to go to different chords very quickly, you can't do it because you don't have the vocabulary to support it if you haven't been practicing it consistently. So what I do to practice my drop two chords is I take a 7th chord, I take the 2nd from the top, I drop it down an octave, so that A is going to come down. And then what happens is, see, in the drop two chord, look at each note. Okay, so after the D is the F sharp, after the F sharp is an A, after the A is a C sharp. So I have to follow that order. So if I'm dropping this A, what's the next note that this A would play? Right, it would be a C sharp. What's the next note that this D would play? It would be an F. See, and each note has to go up. What's the next note that the F sharp would play would be an A, and what's the next note that the C sharp would play would be a D. So I have to practice like that. See? And then I have to play each one. And I need to know all of those. And someone's going to say, well, is that it? That's all I have to do? No, because I have to do that with my major 7s. I have to also do that with my minor 7s. And I'm only in the key of D. Okay? So I take the middle, take 2nd from the top, I drop it. And then I do the next note in each. So I have to practice that. Right? And then keep going. All right. So these are all ways just to play this one minor 7 chord. And I'm practicing all those ways that I can play that. Then I do that with a half diminished chord, which is this. Drop that 2nd from the top, put it down. Then I do the same thing. Right? I think I messed that one up. But anyway, so I practice that. And then I practice my diminished chords. This is a diminished chord, right? I take that note, drop it down from 2nd from the top. And then what I do when I'm practicing the diminished chord is I'm going to transfer now to E flat, because I have to do this in every key. And so what I'm going to do I'm going to play, if I'm going into E flat, I need to hit 5 above that to get to E flat, right? So if I'm coming from a D and I want to go to E flat, I need to hit 5 above that, right? So I'm gonna, as I'm playing my drop 2 diminished chords, which is and then now I'm in the key of E flat, and I'm gonna start the whole thing over. Okay, do the same thing, same four chord types: major, minor, half diminished, and diminished. And I'm in the change key because that diminished movement that I'm teaching you there over B flat teaches me flat nines. Go look at that video. That's very important to know that. But I'm not gonna be able to do it during playing if I have not been practicing that. Now let me tell you something before I go on and explain another thing. I'm putting it together a course, okay, and something for the new year. So those of you who are on my site, y'all are going to be, if you're not on the site, get on it, because those of you who are on my site, they're going to be in for a treat, because what I've done is I've actually put my own practice session together. I have an intro video explaining exactly how to do the session, and then we run through it with me. So it's going to be really cool. And right now it's only available on my site. So get on my mailing list if you're not on it. If you downloaded anything from me, you should be on my mailing list already. And if you're on the site, good for you. Sometime around the beginning of the year that should come out. Second thing that I practice, where's my note card here? Oh yes, the melodic minor scale. So the melodic minor is what I use to get to a certain chord. Okay, Joe Pryor used that on his song when he did that. I'm gonna watch it with you. Something like that. But he was going into G, right? And he used the melodic minor scale to get to G. Or if somebody's going to total praise, you are the source of my strength, I know that the F sharp melodic minor gets there. I know I can voice it this way, right? Right, I know all of those movements are based on a melodic minor scale, but we have to know how to practice that. And so I practice it by making sure that I always end in a chord. I know my target chord, so I'm not just practicing the melodic minor just to say, well, I've practiced the melodic minor. I'm practicing it with a target in mind so that I know where this is supposed to be leading to. And that's how some of y'all aren't doing. Some of y'all aren't doing that because you're just playing scales, but you don't know where they lead, where they go, and how you should be using them. And I just gave an example earlier of using the melodic minor scale, using notes from within the melodic minor, and how I could walk that up. And all of that is just, that stuff is just coming from all the F sharp melodic minor scale. I want you to do this. There's a link that I have right now. I want you to go check out that link. Something should pop up on the screen. Okay, so look at the top. What is it, right? Top right of your screen. Click that link so you can see, or look in the description section and look and see my intro video so that you can see how I'm using this thing. Okay, because I want you guys to see how I'm using it. The last thing that I practice, and again, this is personal, so everybody practices something different. But right now, this is what I'm practicing. In order to learn bebop lines, there's a really cool video online that basically says you need to just practice the basics. So I'm not practicing anything fancy with the bebop lines. I'm doing a dominant bebop down and a harmonic minor bebop going up. So what I'll do is I'll take, let's say I'm starting from D flat. I'll play the dominant bebop scale descending. So, and then what I'll do in the left hand is I'll do a 2-5. So I'll do an A flat minor to a D flat dominant. So it'll sound like this. And then what I'll do is going up, I'll change it to the harmonic minor bebop scale. On the left hand, I'm going to do a G minor and then to a C. So this is a 2-5. So 2-5 going down. Right, and then going up, it's another 2-5 in a different key. Right? So basically, and I know I'm going fast on this video. because this one is a little bit more, takes more time to explain. This one is also going to be in my course called Sean's Practice Session Course. And it's really nothing more than how I practice. We're going to run through every key. So it's going to be really cool. But that's what I do. I practice my drop two voicings, my melodic minor scale in every key, leading to a target note. Bebop lines, that's what I'm doing right now. So coming down in dominant bebop, going up on a harmonic minor bebop. I've recorded MIDI files for each one of the sessions. I have a way that I do arpeggios that is really cool that I'm not going to explain in this video. Very similar to the drop voicing, and that will teach you how to do left hand movements, because a lot of people are saying, well, I don't know what to do with my left hand when my right hand is doing certain chords. So the arpeggio video would be for that, so you can have the left hand stuff under your belt while your right hand is running stuff in the right hand. But this is basically what I'm practicing right now. Definitely check out that link I have in the description for you. This is really cool. I want you to go into 2020 thinking, what am I going to practice, people? What do I need to practice? What do I need to repeat in my practice session? What is that element that I'm going to do every single practice session so that I can have it in long-term memory, so that I don't have to think about it? Everybody has to decide that for themselves. And so good luck in your practice, and thanks again for watching.